McLean from Elite Agent Magazine, and here we are at the halfway point with highlights from Transform in Week 6, where we took a look at some core real estate sales skills, mostly to do with gaining market share and recognition in your farm area. Our head coach and program mentor, Claudio Encina, took our Super 6 through a number of things this week, including how many homes to focus on in the farm area, and also the whys and hows of staying top of mind, as well as gaining market share. Claudio also walked the guys through his Market Monitor spreadsheet, an essential tool in tracking listings and sales in your area. This spreadsheet is available as a download at the end of this video and is available to everyone. So make sure you keep watching right to the end to get the details of how you can improve, monitor and grow market share in your local area. Here are some of the highlights.
So guys, we're into week 6, which is the halfway point, and today's session that I'm going to focus on is hyper-local market knowledge. And this is pretty important because I work with a lot of different agents all the time, and you're either dominating or competing in a marketplace. And I've always found the guys who dominate a marketplace and get the majority of market share, there's a couple of things that they tend to do, and I want to share that a little bit with you today. I want to talk to you a little bit about a BDA. A BDA is what we call a business development area, also known as a farm area or a patch, but having a business development area. The best way to hone in on an area is basically think about, identifying yourself and being the mayor of that area. Choosing somewhere between 1,600 to 2,000 properties and no more. And the goal is to gain about 30% market share, okay, as a minimum. How long does that take? In my experience as a real estate coach and trainer with some of the best agents that I've worked, the quickest I've seen a guy develop 30% market share is about 18 months on average, and it can take anything between 2 to 2.5 years, and there's a methodology behind it. High performance agents, I want you to also understand, is 60% of their income comes from the business development area and 40% comes outside that business development area. That's the model you want to start aiming for, okay? The next bit is, what is an expert? And I want you to write down these 3 R's. This is what an expert looks like to me. Number 1 is, you're a resource for the people in that area, okay? So you're basically that point of resource, from sharing statistical facts in the area of, property prices, growth in that area. So you're basically a resource and you're sharing that information with them. They also see you, the person who gets the results in the area. So days on market are low. You're achieving, maybe beyond and above owners' expectations. So results is really important. And the other bit is, you do the research, okay? So if you can work your way and say, okay, I'm choosing a business development area that I want to hone in on. And I know you've mentioned, Jamie, like an area like botany, for example. Yep. And then you say to yourself, okay, here's botany. I'm going to look between 1,600 to 2,000 properties that I want to target. I don't know, how many properties in botany altogether right now, roughly? 4,000. This is where I get a lot of agents, where I start to lose a lot of agents. They go, well, Claudio, there's 5,000 properties. I really want to hit all 5,000 in that one suburb. The problem is managing a good sort of plan with 5,000 properties. You don't have the time, the energy and the resources to do it, because you need to buy a piece of these people's mind. So when you've got 1,600 to 2,000, it's quite manageable. Anything more than that, it becomes really unmanageable. And then I call it spray and pray. You're going out there, you're spraying and you're praying that a lead's going to land on your lap, versus getting to know those 1,600 people in that area intimately. Education-based marketing is more about you being seen as that expert all the time. A quarterly property review each quarter can really start to cement you as the expert, okay? I normally say easy to do, but easy not to do. And you get some agents that do it once or twice and they start wondering, oh, it's expensive, and they stop, okay? But the idea is to keep it consistent and invest in something that's going to be really powerful for someone, that they get something in their letterbox. You can see it's good quality GSM, it's not cheap. It's actually something of value. Guys, if you're looking, I think, where we're going today is data is king. And I think you need to really look at building a database within a BDA. Now, I remember reading a marketing book a couple of years back, a German guy, and he said that if you touch people 11 times consistently, okay, you start to buy a piece of their mind. Again, what do agents do? They spray and pray, and they're sort of basically, sometimes they're doing something in their core market or their BDA, and sometimes they're not, depending on, you know, if I've got no listings, wow, I've got to go send something out to the area. But if you set up a marketing plan in your BDA, which has got number one, a call to action letter as a minimum, number two, a DL card, which could have, for example, some success sales in there that you may have, all right, with your face on the other side, and you deliver that once a month for a course of 12 months, okay? Two things happened. You not only buy a piece of people's mind, but secondly, because you're in someone's letterbox all the time, even though they don't know you, they feel like they trust you. That makes sense? Even though they don't know you, they feel like they trust you, because consistency equals trust. Either from an e-newsletter, either from dropping a deal card in an area, to a call to action letter. The more times that you have a plan around that, you start to buy a piece of people's mind. So what I mean by that is, after, for example, say 10 months, my wife and I said, place is getting too small, we need to sell. Gee whiz, that lady Melinda is always dropping stuff in our letterbox. Let's call her in. Why? Because I've been putting it in maybe in the bin all the time. But that moment, because my focus is about selling at that point, I would think of Melinda. So do you understand how a business development area is? Number one, we need to choose 1,600 to 2,000 properties, divided between 3 to 4 zones. Minimum 2 things that you will have. You'll have a DL card and a call to action letter, even if you have listings or no listings. And then on top of that, don't forget, we've got things like just listings and just solds, right? In your core market, which again pushes things out. Next bit I want to talk to you about is a little bit about the market monitor. Subscribe to your alerts, real estate portals such as realestate.com, domain.com, as you can see there. But a market monitor, and I'll put this through to you guys and email it through, looks a little bit like this. And you need to do this manually. What I'd like for you to do is, when you get an alert from the area that you're looking after, your business development area, you're going to pop it into a spreadsheet like you have up here. And you can see agency, salesperson, street number, name, automatically. And you're going to put there the first advertised date. And then on the last line, you've got last advertised date. We just couldn't fit the last bit, but if you look at the last part of it, of the spreadsheet, there is a thing that says days on market. What are we looking there is, we're really looking for basically how that sale of that property is progressing on a weekly basis, because you need to spend 1 hour a week on product and market knowledge, okay? We're talking about being pros, not amateurs, pros. Pros know everything what's going on in their marketplace. If you want to dominate, this is what you need to do. You need to know every listing in your marketplace, track it every week. The other thing you need to be aware of is, if you look on the column below all of that on the left-hand side, basically market share. In there, you pop in who the agent is. For example, it could be Ray White, could be McGrath, could be Coastline, whoever it is. In my BDA at the moment, Coastline have 2 properties, McGrath's got 1, Ray White has 1, a couple of other independents have 1 and 1. The market share will automatically come up because the formulas are there, as is the days on market on the other end, will populate automatically. But the market share will tell you exactly where you are on any given week, how much market share you have.
So to download the Market Monitor spreadsheet, check the details in the post below or on the website at eliteagent.com.au/transform. There was a bunch of stuff that we couldn't quite fit in this video, including some great advice from Claudio on targeting expired listings and how to manage the online world, such as agent review sites like Rate My Agent. To contact Claudio about any of the tips in this video, email him, claudio@claudioencina.com. Next up, we have digital expert Steve Carroll from realestate.com.au with a great tip on how to get a share in 250,000 email inquiries per annum, which many agents are just not taking advantage of. But more of that in the next video. Remember, if you have any questions for our coaches or our Super 6, tweet us at EliteAgentMag #transform. See you soon.